Hello my friends, this is Big Daddy Cass back again with a recital done my way. I had a dream. I dreamt I had an interview with the king of rock and roll. And believe it or not, my dream was as real as my sitting here talking to you. Anyway, I remember when I first saw Elvis singing. He was moving and gyrating in a concert held in Salt Lake City, my hometown. All the girls were standing at the foot of the stage screaming and reaching out to touch him. I remember his duets with Anne Margaret and all of his movies, including his greatest movie, That's the Way It Was. Then there was the time that Priscilla came to see Elvis perform. She sat in a booth Elvis had reserved, and he sang her favorite song, It's Midnight. He looked at her with tears streaming down his cheeks as he sang. It was obvious to the world just how much he loved her. I followed Elvis's career right up to his last stage appearance, the night he was supposed to have died. Somehow I never believed the king was dead. I felt the whole thing was staged like a bad movie. In my mind, I could see Elvis relaxing along the Caribbean on a beach in Antigua or someplace just as romantic. A year ago, I moved to Memphis, not far from Graceland Mansion, where I had the opportunity to visit Elvis's final resting place in the Meditation Garden. It was there I had a vision and met Elvis face to face. In the vision, I asked Elvis for an interview, and he said, "Wait for me tonight in your dreams." I know this sounds inconceivable, but believe it or not, this is how I was able to privately interview Elvis. Try to follow my interview. I'm the first person. Elvis, how do you follow up an album like Elvis to Memphis? Well, my follow-up was my album On Stage, followed by Elvis Country. Elvis Country really was my favorite. Elvis, you are my idol. You're known as the king of rock and roll. What is it that sets you above all the other rock and roll performers? I don't look upon myself as the king, but if that's the title the world wants to give me, so be it. I know I try to make each one of my performances better than the last. I know I love performing, and I love a great reaction from my audience. Are you aware that your record sales make you the indisputable king? I know that worldwide I've sold over 1 billion records, and I've had 150 songs on the top of the Billboard. I know I don't have to go to the bank comes to me. I guess that makes me some sort of a king. You know, cash money talks and bullshit walks. I asked my son what he wanted to be when he grew up, and this was his response. I want to be what every boy wants to be when he grows up. Someone rich and famous. Someone everybody looks up to and admires. Someone just like Elvis Presley. Would you care to comment? Well, my answer to that is simple. We live in a country where everyone with a true desire can achieve the American dream. All they have to do is want it bad enough, and then approach it with an undying passion. Be the best at whatever they set their sights on, and remember God helps those that help themselves. Well, I had so many questions I wanted to ask Elvis, but he left me as quickly as he had appeared. I could feel the magic of the moments I spent with him, as if it was real and not a dream. Elvis would be 73 years old now, the same age as I. So you see, I actually grew up with Elvis, dreaming the American dream, but never achieving the American dream. At least not my American dream. You see, the one thing that Elvis forgot to mention when I asked him my last question is you gotta have talent. Thanks for listening. Big Daddy Cass signing off.